What's up, guys? Fantard here to talk about Boku no Hero Academia Chapter 1 and... Turn off the fan. Alright, so this chapter is pretty damn simple. It's basically the continuation of the second phase of the exam, the rescue part. And what I initially liked about this chapter is that... I really like this part, is that no one looks perfect. You know how you always have the exams with other past shonen jump, let's say Naruto or Hunter x Hunter or some other shows. There's always those couple of examinees who kind of look too perfect and they look like they're gonna own the rest of the exam. It does look like that initially when the fuck was that? Anyway. When the wind dude, I think Inarashi, I think that's his name. I gotta look it up. Horrible names. He gets his wind, and this shit is OP. He's getting his wind, and he's blowing all the rubble away, and he's able to use it to where he can control how much power he is using it to push someone. Like, let's say if a human is caught in the rubble, he's using less power of pushing that human out of the way, but he's using his full strength to push the rest of the rubble out. That's a pretty OP power, man. He's like a master airbender or some shit, man. But the thing is, they still take points off him because it's still too reckless. He needs to evaluate the situation better instead of him just, recklessly using his power like that. Because you don't know if you do that, you might set off a fire. Something might fall down. Who knows? Crashing down. So every hero, even the OP heroes, are learning together. No one has this down like complete to a T. And I think it'd be stupid if someone did. Another thing is that Boku no Hero brings up is they bring up the influence of Stain, where a while back ago, the arcs where Stain came into the picture, he has had a lot of influence over not just villains, but also young heroes. And apparently one of the heroes from Shiketsu apparently had some influence on him on the way he talked. And I think it was the one who fought Bakugo. I believe that's who he was, because he was one of the first ones to get out of the examinee in the preliminaries. And they spoke about, oh, you let Stain influence too much to the point where you got distracted with your words. So I'm thinking, man, how far does Stain's influence run if it was able to reach the children? I wonder if there are any heroes who might have been influenced by Stain, thinking that there needs to be a reform for the heroes. And they even address that. This whole arc with the whole All Might retiring is all about reforming the hero association and seeing what they can improve on, how they can protect the children. But I do like that they are addressing that how should heroes run this town or run Japan? Should they be paid? Should they be glorified? Is that open to corruption? So I'm glad that Stain's arc, who's my favorite villain, is bringing light to this even now, even though his arc has finished a while back. And I'm pretty sure Stain's gonna show up sometime, because we did see Stain back then when One for All was captured. No, All for One. Yeah, All for One was captured. I get mixed up between the two. So I'm pretty sure we're going to see those two guys pretty down the line in this arc. Bakugo, again, showing his recklessness. But I was looking forward to this part when he was going to talk to the civilians. He tells the civilians to oh, shut the fuck up and get off and walk on your own. But he was able to recognize that these villains had low priority injuries, and they didn't have to put too much attention to them. But they still took points off of him because of his vulgar mouth. So I'm okay, cool. That, keeps him in character as always. And he's showing that he's a smart, clever guy. He just does it in his own way. And you got Uraraka, who's she's trying to get in there. And Momo, I thought, would have been perfect for this rescue scene. Because her quirk is very useful for rescuing, and she is very smart and intelligent where she can read the situation. She owned Uraraka, or she helped Uraraka big time from losing any more points when she was trying to lift up the rubble and trying to save these guys over here. So Momo, she's definitely character development where she's going to be very important in Boku no Hero Academia when it comes to the rescue mission. And I really liked how she was able to read and memorize the situation. She got some really good points for that. Uraraka, she's really trying to concentrate here. She's really trying to make herself useful. And they talk about everyone has to work together here. No one can do this by themselves. It's all about reading the situation together. And now they have to... It's also a situation where they have to bond with other schools. Where if they can't just be egotistical and selfish with their own school. They have to work together. Because it's all about saving the people. That's it. Doesn't matter about fame, doesn't matter about prestige. It's all about the civilians right now. That's the way you have to pass this test. I'm pretty sure when they get into the next part of the exam, they'll have to worry about going against other schools later. But especially towards the end of this chapter, we get villains. And this is a pretty damn tough test, man. It's a tough test I've seen in a while in any other shonen jumps that I can remember, at least, that I can recall, at least at this moment. It's pretty tough with the villains coming in. It's a ranked number 10 hero who looks like a pretty strong villain. And he's going to try, I guess, to distract them or attack them or make their job a lot harder when it comes to rescuing. So they want to see how they react, and, you know, it's a good way to help them grow. It's very, very realistic. You got Bakugo, you got Todoroki, you got Deku, all waiting to see them fight. All waiting to see them fight against this one villain. But I want to see them work together with each other, see how they can work with the other schools, especially the guy that hates Todoroki and his dad. I want to see if he's able to put aside his differences with Todoroki and he can still work and fight against this villain. I think we got a name drop for that one naked chick, the clay girl. I have to look back. I had her name. I think they mentioned her name. Shami, something like that. But man, I gotta see if that's her name, man, because so far we have not gotten a name drop for the naked girl. Can't wait. Really like this chapter. Solid and good chapter. 3.8 out of 5. Really good. Next one's going to be extremely hyped. But the biggest thing that I liked about it is that no one looks perfect in this arc. At least not yet. At least in this part. No one looks perfect. No one looks like they have it down. And so everyone is working and they're growing together. It's not like where you have that one character in an exam arc where he looks like completely overpowered and unbeatable and then he gets knocked off his pedestal later on. Here, it's open on who's going to grow together and who's going to be knocked off. You know what I mean. Fan chart out.